Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of April. This is a couple of weeks late because I was prepping for a craft market 2 weeks ago and just didn't have the time to do this properly. Hopefully you saw the little mini video that I put out just to explain the gap. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit out of practice, even though I've only missed one. I've done my notes this morning and been like, what am I doing? What am I writing down? Hey, I'm sure I'll get back into the swing of it in a minute. Not that I'm ever properly in the swing of it anyway, you know what I'm like. How are you? I hope you've had a good Easter. Absolutely mad that it's almost the end of April already. It is my little boy's birthday on Saturday. He's not so little anymore, he's going to be 9, which is just a bit crazy, to be perfectly honest with you. Not quite sure how we've got to having a 9-year-old. But hey, there we are. That's life, I guess, isn't it? This chair is really creaky, I am sorry. I will try not to wobble it too much. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm sorry about all the mess in the background as well. I'm sure you're used to it by now, but it is particularly chaotic today because I have just dumped all the stuff from the market and haven't sorted it out yet. Yeah, having a good sort out and tidy up has been on my to-do list for a good couple of months now. I will do it. I just don't know when, but I'll get there. Anyway, enough waffle. I'll do waffle at the end. I'll do a proper life update at the end of all this. This is probably going to be a 2-parter again because I've got a lot to tell you today. Lots to talk about. As per usual, if it is a 2-parter, they'll be released at the same time, so you can go straight from one video to the next if you do want to watch them both. Information, anything you need to know should be in the description box underneath. Links to my project pages, information about businesses that I mention, etc, etc. If you think I've missed something, just let me know and I shall add it in. There will also be timestamps in the description, and they should, depending on how you're watching, appear along the progress bar of the video as well. So you can skip sections, rewatch sections, whatever you want to do, nice and easily. What else do I need to tell you? I have written notes, but of course I can't read them. I was going to do a brief intro. My voice is going already. This is not a good sign. This is not what we need. I said that. I have a newsletter these days. I send it out on around about the last day of each month, depending on what's going on. If you would like to sign up, there will be a link to that in the description as well. You do get a £5 discount code to spend in my online shop when you sign up. So a little incentive for you. And yeah, if you like what you see, please do drop a little thumbs up, send me comments. I love reading comments, and consider subscribing if I'm providing content that you're interested in. Right, who am I? I don't think there's anyone new this time, but just in case there is, or if you've not watched in a little while, my name is Jenny. Hi. I've kind of just dived in this morning, haven't I? I live in Harrogate in North Yorkshire in the UK, for any international viewers, and I am a crocheter, I'm a spinner. I also, it's kind of a bit up in the air still, but I make buttons and stitch markers. Here we go, already. Stitch markers from Paula McClay. I'm working on expanding that product range. I do have a business based on all this crafty stuff. Exactly what it looks like is a little bit up in the air at the moment. I'm kind of on the brink of doing a big rebrand. So by all means, please do go and have a look at my shop. There are things in there you can buy. But also just bear in mind, things are changing. Changes are coming soon. I don't know exactly when, but as soon as I do, I will let you know. I have a husband. I have a son. I have a cat. They almost all get mentioned. The cat sometimes comes and joins in. My son is at school today, so he will not be appearing. My husband is working just across the hall, working from home. So if you hear any noises in the background, it's probably him. I think that's it for the intro. I don't know, like I said, I feel a bit, what am I doing here today? Yeah, I think that's the intro done. So I'm going to dive in and tell you about all the projects that I have either finished or that are on the go at the moment. There are quite a few, bear with me. So, some of these as well, I can't remember exactly what I told you about last time, despite having looked at my notes from last time. So if I'm repeating myself, I am sorry. I figured it's better to tell you too much than not enough, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. If you think I'm waffling on too much, just say so in the comments and I will try and cut it down in future episodes. Won't help for this one, obviously, but for the future, maybe. So, socks. I have, since I last spoke to you, finished 2 pairs of socks. I think I was working on this pair last time I spoke to you. Both from the same pattern. Well, that's the other thing I meant to say. While I'm talking about projects, and that's Kelvin, my husband, in the background. I don't know if that was picked up, but it probably was. So yes, these pairs are both in the same pattern. I feel like I was going to say something else then as well. Oh, that I will put information up on the screen as well, just so I don't have to tell you every single little detail about what I'm talking about. So both pairs of socks are from the Quokka pattern by, I think it's Susan Sands on Ravelry. It's a free pattern and it's brilliant. It's almost more of a recipe than a pattern, because you measure your foot basically and you use the figures from those measurements to work out your stitch count. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's really not. The designer has written the pattern so well, and you literally just plug the numbers in and you end up with socks that fit. They fit really, really well. I haven't worn these ones yet, but you will have seen a previous pair, either last time or the time before, that I made in the same pattern. I actually got the measurement wrong for those, one of the measurements wrong, so they are a little big, but only in one direction. I think they're too wide, but the length is perfect, which is, you know, that's impressive, to be honest, for me. Yeah, I cannot speak highly enough about that pattern. The other good thing is, because it's based on your measurements, and you have to do a little gauge swatch as well, but it's only a little one, don't worry. You can customise it really easily depending on what yarn you're using. So I've got 2 pairs to show you today. These are made using a DK yarn. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep, which is DK. It's words. It's suitable for socks. It's, you know, merino. No, it's not merino. Neither of these have got merino in them, but it is a wool and nylon blend, so it's perfect for socks. It's going to be really hard wearing. I have made other socks in the past using the same yarn, and they're great. It's so cosy because they're thicker. So this is a DK bear, and oh, I'm so happy with them. I love that they're stripy, and I have got, I think, 2 more colours of this yarn. I think I'm going to do the same with, make another pair of stripy socks myself. And then these are also West Yorkshire spinners, but they are the signature 4-ply. And what's the colourway? I think it's Hollyberry. It was a Christmas colourway. Oh well, whatever. Self-striping yarn, so I haven't had to do any colour changes, and I haven't even had to cut and rejoin for the heel because of the way the pattern's written. It uses the short rows heel method, which is probably the most complicated bit actually, is working out how many rows you need to do for your heel. But again, it's not difficult, it's fine. And again, you know, I tried these on as I was making them, really happy with the fit so far. My stomach's going to start rumbling in a minute. Apparently I'm really hungry already. Oh, I hope you didn't hear that. If it gets really bad, I'll pause and eat something. What was I saying? Yeah, just that, you know, these are gorgeous as well. I'm really, really happy. So I've got, from the same pattern, I have got a DK pair and a 4-ply pair of socks, both of which I'm really happy with, both of which worked up really quickly. Obviously these were a bit quicker because thicker yarn means fewer stitches. But yeah, it is quick, it is simple, and it's amazing. I expect I will be using this pattern again and again and again going forward. I didn't hold these up very well for you today. That's the colours. Sorry, the light's a bit funny today. Now we're into spring, summer. I've got, you know, occasionally bright sunshine outside, and it is, so the light's going to keep changing, but it'll be fine. I have got my my ring light and my desk lamp and that on as well, so yeah, it'll be okay. I think that's all I was going to say about these. I don't know, I'm waffly, really, really waffly today. I am sorry, I probably won't make much sense. But yeah, socks, I'm happy, yay. I need to start a new pair. Actually, I haven't got a pair of socks on the go at the moment, and I like having a pair of socks on the go. They are crochet socks. Once you are familiar with a pattern, for me anyway, they're a really good project for when you want to finish something, you know, when you've got that urge to get something done, because they do work up really quite fast, and you can either, depending on how your brain works, how you feel, you can either work 2 at a time, so do the toes, then do a bit of the foot, then do, you know, so on, or you can do one sock and then the other, and either way it's just really satisfying, I think anyway. So you will see as I carry on, I have got plenty of projects on the go at the moment. I really don't need any more, but I think I do want to start another pair of socks anyway. And I think it's going to be another pair of Quokka socks, because I know the pattern now, and I know my measurements, so I don't need to faff. I can just plug in all the numbers depending on the yarn, do a quick gauge swatch, and then work out all the maths. I've spent far too long talking about the intro on one project. I'm going to need to speed through things a bit today, I think. I do need to clear my throat, so hang on. Right, the rest of these I'm going to go through in no particular order. Those were first, simply because they're finished and they were on my desk to show you. Do you have other things to talk about? Before I forget, because I haven't got it with me, when I did the mini video a couple of weeks ago to let you know there was going to be no proper episode that week, I was wearing my sunset shrug, and I said it was finished. Technically it was, and at that point I was happy with it. Sorry, that's my stomach again. I'm going to have to stop and eat something, aren't I? So I was happy with it then. I wore it to the market on that Saturday, and I wore it on holiday. We've been away for a few days before Easter, and having worn it twice, it's good, but it's not quite perfect. So I have undone, no, I haven't actually undone it. Or did I? Doesn't matter, I don't think I did. But I'm playing with the border, basically, just to make sure the fit is exactly how I want it. So I said I was going to show you it again properly today. I'm not, because it is in another room waiting for me to faff with it. I've tried a couple of different things and neither have really worked how I wanted them to. So hopefully by the next time I show you, it will be a proper finished project and I can show you it again. But yeah, it's just a bit not quite happy with it at the moment, but it'll get there. Something that I am very happy with the progress of, anyway, sure I don't get tangled, is a brand new project that I don't think I'd started at all. I don't know if I'd even mentioned that I was going to. I might have done, but I don't remember. Last time I spoke to you, I have already started work. Oh no, I did. I said I was going to start working on another garment, and I have done. I have started work on my very first, the way it's going, probably not my last, granny hexagon cardigan. I'm loving it. I am doing a super lightweight spring summer cropped short sleeved version. Because it's lightweight, I'm using I think it might technically be a DK yarn. I'm going to stop after I talk about this one. I'm going to eat and shut my stomach up. Is it a 4-ply? It might be a DK, but it's one of those. I'll show you what's left of the yarn cake. It's a cotton acrylic blend, but it's not spun, it's not twisted. The strands are just separate, which can cause some issues while crocheting, but this has actually been okay. It's been pretty good. I'll put the pattern information on the screen because I cannot remember, and I'm gonna have to rummage. But the pattern is one that I was given in either the goodie bag or the podcaster pack when I went to the East Anglia Yarn Festival, and I kind of just took it as a sign. I've been thinking about making a Hexi Cardi for ages, and I was kind of gearing up to do it anyway, and then I got this pattern and I was like, well, that's the sign, isn't it? I've just got to do it now. So I've already done one side. I've seamed it and everything. I need to remember to move a bit slower so my camera doesn't freeze. So I've got a sleeve and the body. It looks tiny, but it will stretch when I block it. And this is at the right size that I want for the sleeve length, more or less, and for the body length I want it to be really, really cropped. And I'm going to add a button or a tie. I haven't decided which, so I can tie it or fasten it anyway. Sort of here. Does that make sense? I have no idea whether that's being picked up by the mic, but it probably is. It's really loud, I'm sorry. So yeah, first side complete. Second side almost complete. This is what it looks like when it hasn't been seamed. And ta-da! And then because they're quite small, I will have to add some rows down the back to join the two panels together. I've just undone a bunch of stitches. Forgot that I didn't have a stitch marker in there. I took it with me. Went to the Yorkshire Indie Business Club on Monday evening. I took it with me to work on and I got quite a bit done. And somehow completely lost the stitch marker that I was using to stop it unravelling. So there we go, popped a new one in. Yeah, I'll need to add some rows down the back to join the two panels together, and possibly a few down the front just to bring it in across my shoulders a bit. And that'll be about it, I think. I'll do a bit of edging around the bottom, and the sleeves might need lengthening. If not, I'll just add some edging. And then, yeah, just decide whether I want a button or a tie to fasten it. If I do use a button, it'll be one of my own, which will be nice. And it means I can colour coordinate nice and easily as well. Where's the yarn label gone? I wanted to show you that. So this is the yarn, and so far it is looking like, so it's a 200-gram cake. I think it is cotton acrylic, isn't it? Where does it say? It says cotton. Yeah, so 50-50 cotton and acrylic. And 200 grams is 800 meters, so yeah, I think that does work out at roughly a 4-ply fingering weight. And so far it is looking like I'm only going to need the one cake, which I wasn't sure about when I started. Or if I do need a bit more, it should literally just be to finish it off, in which case I can use something else. It's not a big deal. Just do a bit of edging. I've probably got some scraps somewhere actually that'd be suitable just to finish it off, which might mean that it ends up with a little bit of colour around the edge, which will be fun. But I am really enjoying the fact that it is monochrome, black and white. It's a gradient, but just black and white. It means it's going to go with almost everything I own, which is always good. So yeah, if you haven't done a Hexi Cardi yet, if you are like me and one of the few people left in the world who hasn't crocheted a Hexi Cardi, highly recommend it. I thought it was going to take ages to work up because I'm using such a lightweight yarn, and I think if I was doing a full length one, it obviously would take a lot longer, but because I've chosen to do a cropped one, it's working up really fast. And I might do myself a heavier weight one that will be longer and have longer sleeves for sort of autumn winter as well when I finish this one. I don't know. I also want to make myself another Christmas jumper this year. Sorry. Yeah, lots of garment plans at the moment, and garments take time, but it's worth it. I love being able to wear stuff that I've made. Right, I'm going to pause and have a snack so that my stomach shuts up because it's really annoying me now. Right, I am refueled. Hopefully my stomach won't keep rumbling now. I hope. So next project to show you. This is an almost finished. I've literally just got to block it. That is all I need to do. So of course it's been sat in the bag for 3 weeks. But hey, I will get there, and I need to soon because this is a gift for a very good friend of mine who is due to have her third baby any day now. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know she said it was after Easter, so we are now after Easter. So yeah, here we go. It is a baby blanket. I've loved making this. I'm sure if you are someone who crochets often, you have probably seen this pattern in various places. There are a few different versions of it now. This is called the Midwife Blanket, and it's gorgeous. Loads of people do it in plain white or cream or other pastel colours, and that always looks really lovely. But I had this gradient yarn in my stash and I just thought it would be perfect, and I think I was right. I really love it. The border, actually, I put a poll up on one of my Instagram stories a little while ago because I couldn't decide with the border whether to use the rest of the gradient cake or whether to use a different colour. I put a couple of different options up for people to choose from, and the most popular option was to finish off just using the same yarn, which had a little bit left of a colour change. That didn't make any sense. But yeah, it had a bit more of the gradient to go through. The border starts here and then to the edge, and it was absolutely the right choice. I'm glad that I trusted your opinion, anyone who did vote on that. Thank you for the help. It was, I keep freezing, oh dear. Yeah, it was definitely the right decision. I think it looks lovely. There's not a huge amount to say about this one other than that it's gorgeous and I love it, and it was a fun make, and hopefully my friend will love it too. There's the yarn label. It's a yarn unfortunately you can't really get anywhere, but I'll show you anyway. There's a 150 gram cake, which is 480, I think. Yeah, 480 metres. And I've got this much left. So yeah, it's another one I'm really happy with. What else can I say? Like I say, I just need to block it and then I can wrap it up ready to give to my friend, with a few extra bits and bobs, and put together a little care package for her. Yeah, she's done all this before, she knows what's what, but it's still nice to get some treats, isn't it, when you've just had a baby. Like I say, I don't know when she's due, other than soon, but hopefully I will be able to give you a little update at some point and tell you how she and the new baby are doing and whether or not she likes the blanket. What else have I got to show you? I feel like I'm forgetting things. So, my granny wrap. I can't remember exactly where I got to with telling you about this. This is the granny wrap pattern from Annabu's house, which is very, very popular at the moment. Mostly, I think, thanks to Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, because I think she's made 2 or 3 of these now, and that's where I first heard about the pattern, certainly. And I have made this so far. I started this using my own hand spun yarn in all these lovely shades of purple. I won't go into too much detail about it because I have shown you it before at least once, but you may remember that it got to, hold it back around here, and I'd run out of the hand spun, and I restrained myself from going and buying more fibre and spinning up a fresh batch so I could carry on. Bear in mind, it took quite a long time to spin the fibre in the first place. And I thought, no, I must have yarn in my stash, they'll go. And I did. But of course the yarn I've got is 4-ply, so luckily I had 2 skeins of it. Ta-da! I am holding them together and just carrying on with this absolute gorgeousness, which is from Madrigal yarns. You can't see the label very well because they're all folded up, but there you go. And this is in the Black Forest colourway, which is just, it's just beautiful. It's working up so nicely, and it's not the same shade of purple, but it's close enough. It goes really well with the rest of the shawl. I'm loving it. Again, I've not worked on this for a couple of weeks. I've just had a lot going on. But I know that when I get back to it, it works it pretty quickly. It is granny stitch, and it is at a pretty decent size actually now that I've added those few extra rows. So I'll just use up what I've got and it'll be done, which will be nice, and that is going to get a lot of yarn out of my stash, which is, I know there's a lot of people this year who are actively trying to reduce their stash and use yarn they've already got, and I completely support that. I think it's a great idea. I am not being quite so disciplined about that. I am allowing myself to buy more yarn when I want to, basically. As you will have seen from the video about East Anglia Yarn Festival that I did a couple of weeks ago. But I'm trying to be reasonably restrained and only buy things if they are really special, or if I've got a particular project that I need a specific yarn for or something like that. Because I do have a tendency to just buy things because they're pretty, and much as that is fun and I love it and there's not really anything wrong with doing that, I've got plenty of yarn. I don't need more. Again, unless it's a specific yarn needed for a specific project, I don't need more yarn. I've got loads. I do need to start clearing down my stash, really. Especially because I'm now also accumulating quite a big stash of fibre for spinning, which I'll tell you more about later. Okay, another reasonably quick one to show you. Again, I think I will have mentioned this last time because I started working on this on my way down to East Anglia Yarn Festival. And in fact, I think I showed you this. Ooh! No, just dropped the yarn. Oh well, tidy that up in a minute. This one finished fingerless glove, made from some gorgeous yarn from Blue Fern Yarns, which I bought at Yarndale last year. It's lovely. This is my own pattern. Very, very simple. I will at some point write it up. I am definitely intending to. What was I saying? Yeah, so I started working on it on the way down to East Anglia Yarn Festival. I think I'd pretty much finished it on the way home. And then I thought, that's just gonna, I've completely dropped that. I'm just gonna leave it until I next need something simple to work on. While I'm travelling or waiting for an appointment or, other situations like that. And then we decided to go away for a few days, and I thought, well, I'm gonna want something to work on while we're in the hotel. So I took it with me and I started the second glove. I haven't got very far, you can see, but I think I'm just about to start doing the increases on this one. So yeah, I think I've got a few more rows maybe, and then starting the increases. So yeah, there's not a huge amount to show you. But I just thought I would let you know I have carried on and will continue to dip in and out of this just whenever I want something nice and simple to work on. There is no rush on getting this finished. I'm not going to need fingerless gloves now for a good few months. The weather has got much warmer now that we're towards the end of April. And I run warm and I don't deal well with heat, so I'm not going to need things to keep me warm for a while. So if they go into hibernation for a bit, that's fine. But like I say, they are good. They're good to take along to anywhere that I need just something to do, something to keep my hands busy, something nice and simple to work on. So they'll get done when they're done, and I'll let you know when that happens. Right, I have got big progress to show you on this one. Again, I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail because I have talked about this quite a bit on previous episodes. Here is my Flower Power Blanket, patterned by Kate Heppel. I've joined most of the hexagons that I have shown you previously. So this is bigger than it was, and I haven't planned it out in terms of colour. You know, I haven't deliberately arranged the hexagons so that, you know, certain colours go together or anything, but I did very deliberately join them to make sure that this was actually forming a rectangle now. Oh, the camera keeps freezing. I'm sorry, I need to find out why that's happening and how I can stop it because it's doing my head in and it must be really annoying for you as well. And I think, like I said last time I did a proper episode, I maybe just need to move less. But really, it should be able to cope with it. It was, you know, not a cheap camera. Anyway, yeah, so this is now more or less rectangular. Obviously, it's got wibbly edges because they're hexagons. Yeah, I need to move less because that's freezing again. Or at least more slowly, maybe. I was going to say, so it will extend. I don't know which way it's going to extend yet, but I've got more hexagons to add, and there's still a bit of yarn left. I have decided, I wasn't sure about making half hexagons before now, but I have decided that I'm going to make half ones to fill in along these edges, just because otherwise that's really wonky even once I've done a border. But along these edges, I'm just going to leave. Oh, I'm sorry, so freezy. I hope you can still hear me, at least. Yeah, along these. Okay, the camera's back. I hope you could hear everything I was saying then. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress on the blanket. It's becoming a really good size, which is nice. And then I have got more hexagons to show you. And I've been very deliberately, mostly just so I know where I'm up to with the colours. I've been working in pairs, and it's been fascinating. So pairs, where I'm doing 2 hexagons at a time from the same combination of colours. And it's been really fascinating. So I showed you those ones last time. And make sure I get the right 2. Okay, so these 2, there isn't a huge difference, but there is still a difference. So for both of these hexagons, the colour of the flower, excuse me, is from one skein of yarn. The background colour is from another skein of yarn, but they're the same for both flowers. Look how different they are. Isn't it fascinating? It's because the it's colour changing yarn, as I'm sure I have told you many times before. It's the way the colours work together and the way they transition. It's what's keeping this interesting for me. I think I've said probably many times before, I do not enjoy projects that involve making the same motif in the same way, in the same colours, over and over and over again. I get very bored very quickly. So I wasn't sure how this blanket would go. I thought I might give up and make a cushion. But because the colours are constantly changing, every hexagon, although the construction of the hexagon is exactly the same, the end result is completely different, and that is keeping it interesting for me. So again, we've got 2 hexagons here where the flower is the same from the same yarn skein. The background is from the same yarn skein on each one. Look at the difference. There's that one, pretty low contrast, and that one, really high contrast. I'm loving it. I don't think I've got too many more to do, because I'm going to run out of yarn soon. I've got a few more. No, I've decided I'm going to do the half hexagons next, and I'm not going to do the colour changes on those. I'm just going to do plain. They won't be because of the colour transitions within the yarn, but I'm just going to use one skein for each one. And then whatever I've got left, if I need more hexagons, I will make more hexagons to, you know, extend the blanket. But yeah, I think I'm nearly done. But whatever I've got left, I'm gonna keep working in pairs. I think if I've got enough yarn, because it is just so interesting. Again, these are from the same 2 skeins of yarn, used in the same order, same pattern, completely different. I love it. So I can highly recommend, if you are a bit like me and doing repetitive things is boring, you know, for lack of a better word, you know, to be brutally honest, it's boring doing the same thing over and over again. Get some colour changing yarn, get a gradient or a long stripe or a short stripe, depending on the pattern, depending on what you like. And it makes a world of difference. It's just, and it looks so good. It looks so fun. Okay, 2 more little things to talk about. One, I haven't got it with me, but I think I have got a picture, and if not, I can take one. I think I did mention this briefly last time, that Kelvin, my husband, had asked me to make a little bag for him. I think I called it a dice bag at the time. It's not actually for dice. I have made him many dice bags in the past. He and Ned, my son, have got a growing collection of Nerf plasters, if that's the right word. I don't know. Whoosh. Kelvin now has his own, which has a very specific kind of Nerf dart to go with it that don't go in any of the other machines, toys. And so we wanted a bag to keep them in, so that you could keep them separate from the many other Nerf darts that they have got between them. So that's what it is. And again, I just made it up. Basically, I can't even remember now what stitch I used. If I've written it down, I will put notes on Ravelry about it. If I can't remember, there might not even be a project page because it's such a small project, and I did just completely wing it, so there's not really much point putting it up. But yeah, if I can remember what I did, I'll do a project page and put the notes in there for you. I like making these little bags. They don't take long. Again, it's a quick satisfying project. You get a result quickly, which is sometimes exactly what you need. The other thing I wanted to mention that I haven't got anything to show you, I have, but it's downstairs, and well, yeah, I don't really want to I mean, Ned shouldn't see this before his birthday anyway. It's something I'm making for my son for his birthday. Of course, I've left it to pretty much the last possible minute to have a chance to get it done in time. But I made really good progress with it last night. Literally properly started it last night. I've sort of played with it a bit before, but properly started it last night, and I've got tonight, tomorrow, Friday to get it done. Wish me luck. It is, I think I've probably shown you before, again, not too much detail, but there's a TV show called Grizzy and the Lemmings, and I made Ned one of the lemmings for Christmas, which he loves, and we were just talking about it, and I can't remember if he said he wanted one or if I just thought it was a good idea, things I talked myself into, but I said I'd make him Grizzy for his birthday, so that's what I'm doing. Slightly easier because the lemming I made up the pattern from scratch. Grizzy, I've found a bear pattern that is roughly the right shape, which I will link for you. And I'm customising it a bit. I've changed the muzzle slightly because it's not quite the right shape, and I'll make a couple of other adjustments, and then the facial features and stuff like that will be as close as I can get to a good representation of Grizzy, the character. So yeah, hopefully I'll have that finished by the end of Friday. And then I can show you it next time. We'll have to prise it out of Ned's hands in order to do so, but he won't mind. That's fine. Right, I have been going for a long while now, and I've still got quite a lot to say, but I think I'm going to stop here for this video, and I will tell you everything else in a second video. So if you were just here to hear about the crochet, I'm done. Crochet's done. The second part I will be talking about the spinning I've been up to. There'll be a life update at the end. There's a bit of incoming. What else have I got? I think that's about it. Oh, I lied. I will talk about a bit more before I finish this part. But yeah, that's it. Spinning, incoming, life update will all be in part 2 before I finish this video. Quick notes on my next projects that will be starting. I've got plenty, but there's always more to be done. Always more, and some things are time sensitive-ish. So we are well into birthday season for our family now. It starts really with my nephew in February. I think from February to September, between family and friends, I have got at least one significant birthday every month. In May there are 5. So it's a bit but that inevitably ends up meaning that I'm making at least 2 or 3 things for people in March, April, May time. So I need to finish the present for Ned obviously this week, but then I also want to make something for Kelvin. I'm not quite sure yet, but I've got ideas. And also for my dad. Both their birthdays are in May, so hopefully I'll have decided and started working on something for both of those by the next time I speak to you. I'm also going to be making a small shawl for my mother-in-law. That is something she has specifically asked for because she's seen others that I've made. Very happy to do it for her. She is one of the most crochet worthy people that I know. I've just ordered the yarn for it the other day. Was it last night before? She wants a specific not a specific colour, but a specific palette, I suppose. She's sort of wants deep sort of reds, burgundy, but a gradient. So I've got that ordered. We'll start that soon. It's going to be the Moonlit Shawl by Sandra from Cherry Heart, which is a great pattern. Again, if you've not tried that one yet, it's very simple, very pretty. Highly recommend. And then the other thing I'm going to be starting within the next week, because it's definitely got a deadline, is I am doing a test crochet for Emma of Stitched Up by Emma, who I have tested for a few times in the past. She's got another blanket pattern coming out, which is beautiful, and I'm very, very happy to be testing for her. But of course, it's another thing I need to do. But her blankets always work up pretty quickly. Obviously you can make them any size you want, but the pattern's always written for like a baby blanket size, so that is the size that I'll make, and then I will decide what to do with it after I've made it. I don't know yet what yarn I'm using, but that's a job I think for today, tomorrow, to figure that out. And yeah, I love being part of her tester groups. Actually, everyone's always really, really lovely. I think we've got a few new people this time, so that will be fun. Right, that's it. That is all the crochet stuff done. So like I said, if that's all you're here for, then fine. If you want to hear about everything else, there'll be another video hopefully ready and waiting for you by the time you finish watching this one. If you have got to the end of this video, make me happy by putting a... oh, what emoji can I ask for today? What's relevant? I've talked about so many different things. Put some flower emojis in the comments for me to go with the flower power blanket. And that'll be nice. And I'll have lots of lovely pretty comments then to look at as well. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. And if you're not going to watch the next one, I'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. If you are going to watch the next one, I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, bye for now.